friendly little town lived a family of great renown, where carolers would sing, and Christmas had meant everything. Now Blair's on her way, and it's a very dark day, to discover one from their nest had now emptied and left.
I had a wonderful time adapting John Grisham's book, Skipping Christmas, because it's filled with all the things I like about Christmas.
Merry Christmas!
Got it!
Christmas with the Kranks, first and foremost, is an empty nest story.
A couple whose daughter has gone off to the Peace Corps is facing their first Christmas alone.
I'll be home next Christmas.
His daughter goes away this Christmas, and it does not sit well with him.
Blair's pretty much the reason for the whole skipping Christmas and making this whole thing. I love you.
Love you.
Let's go get a frozen yogurt.
And we've cut. That is a cut.
Skipping Christmas. In the darkest of times, an idea can shine, even one as bizarre as, who needs Christmas this time?
So he decides to take a proactive stance and not celebrate Christmas.
The first time in 23 years, Blair won't be here.
Might even get depressing.
I would just love to forget about it.
I have an idea.
We go away on a cruise
And go bask in the Caribbean sun.
As he tells his wife, the whole reason we celebrate Christmas is gone this year. We're going to skip it and we're going on a cruise.
Well, what's the catch?
We skip Christmas.
We skip Christmas.
No way.
We spent $6,100 on Christmas last year.
How much is this going to cost?
$3,000.
We save money?
Absolutely.
They can go on a cruise, not have to deal with the stress, and not have to deal with missing their daughter.
What she doesn't realize is that he means skipping everything about Christmas.
I will not be celebrating Christmas this year.
Buy no gifts and accept none.
Merry Christmas, Mrs. Crank!
It really challenges everything that she holds dear to her about the holidays.
Community outrage. But denying the Yuletide and planning a boat ride is not what the neighbors would choose. For a house without Frosty would be very costly.
The neighborhood has a great pride in dressing up for Christmas. Everybody has to have a Frosty on their roof, and now the Kranks don't.
And that does not go over well with the rest of the neighborhood.
A lot of the neighbors are pretty upset.
They view them as being a little cranky, actually, at a certain point, because they're being subversive.
Mr. Crank, we're selling Christmas trees again this year.
We're not going to need a tree.
Oh, that frickin' thing touches my movie star face.
The world, his town, his neighbors, convention will not let him skip Christmas. It's much easier to say you're going to skip Christmas than to actually accomplish it.
Think you can run away from Christmas, huh?
I'm doing my best.
We've never really got along that well. I'll have a good one, old man. I kind of rub him the wrong way all the time.
We are two dogs that bark at each other all the time.
One snowball with a little yellow spot on it.
Vic Frohmeyer is like the Uber boss of the block.
He's kind of a pushy guy.
All of us know people like Frohmeyer, who is so obsessed with Christmas, and he lives for that time of the year.
He has to get basically a Frankenstein-like vigilante group to attack.
Nora Crank, we're here for Frosty.
Luther,
Hey, babe.
they want Frosty.
Well, they can't have him.
Frosty better be here.
My son Spike is pretty much a spy, but in a good way.
You can peg him as the Dennis the Menace of the neighborhood.
Free Frosty, free Frosty.
They do not get Frosty.
Stop this car now! Nora, please! Don't do anything you'll regret. Give us Frosty. Talk to me, Nora.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Hey! He reaches a point where he ices the front lawn of his house to prevent anyone from coming near him. I mean, how awful is that?
And then, of course, he makes mistakes in turning things down.
Well, Mr. Crank, it's that time of year again.
I refuse to buy their calendar because I don't need a Christmas calendar because I won't be here. This doesn't go particularly well.
You know, it's like not believing in Christmas.
Luther's point is very well taken, which is, what is Christmas holiday really for? You know, what is a Frosty the Snowman for? Has nothing to do with Christmas, really. It's from a song.
This is like fascism. And we're the ones that broke out of it. We're not going to do what everybody tells us to do. And why are we doing these stupid things just because everybody says you've got to do them? And that point is great.
Meet the neighbors. For all down our street, it's the neighbors you'll meet. And whether Krank's right or he's wrong, can't we all just get along?
The cast came together very quickly, actually. I think
Action!
Joe knew Tim Allen from working with him on the Santa Claus films.
It would be difficult to sell me on Christmas movies. I do a lot of these. I'm sorry you got to work on Christmas Eve.
Santa always has to work on Christmas Eve.
Oh, don't I know? Wink. And so this had to be particularly interesting to me.
Audiences relate to him. They feel comfortable with him at this particular time of year.
Tim has become in America kind of the Disney-esque everyman, and he lets us in a very, very funny, kind of outrageous way.
Funny.
And just one of those guys that makes you just laugh out loud.
Acting. I'll pause less. We're not doing Christmas this year. I don't need a tree. Thank you very much.
Tim Allen and Jamie Lee Curtis were the only choices for the role.
We know exactly how to be funny with each other.
Quiet.
Why are you whispering, Luther? This is our house.
I'm whispering for the same reason you're hiding behind that curtain. Huh?
I love her sense of humor. I love how she looks. Jamie Lee is easy to be around.
Dan Aykroyd plays my favorite character in the movie, Vic Frohmeyer.
Dan Aykroyd and I have known each other for a long time about hot rods and bikes.
When we both have the flat top hairstyle.
I would say as much as there's a villain in the piece, I guess I'm him, and I love playing bad guys. Hey! Walt Scheel, who's played by Emmett Walsh, who's one of the great veteran American actors.
Emmett Walsh is just a riot. He is something else.
Dave's not here.
Cheech Marin is one of the funniest guys in America who I've been a fan of since Cheech and Chong days.
I think they cast us for our heights. Jake is 6'3" or 6'4", and I'm 5'7".
Buenas noches.
I was good friends with his dad, Gary, and so I watched Jake grow up.
I've known him since I was 7, so it's like having an uncle on the set, the fun uncle.
Don't let this bother you, Jake. It's my process, Jake. Screaming when the other actors are ready to do their...
Joe put together this cast of comedians to most of the parts because he trusts their instincts.
They're like weapons of death.
They don't really have to get up to speed. They know they've got their moment, they're going to steal that moment.
Yes, he does.
I think it just helps makes the movie funnier.
You know, doesn't help when you guys laugh.
Because I knew the fun quotient would be pretty high.
Cut to him.
The stuff that goes on between takes is sometimes funnier than in a movie.
Now I can tell that he's been doing stand-up comedy for quite a few years.
The main challenge we've had is not to crack up at Tim's, jokes and his faces.
I'll take the life and you take the rest of it.
I just have to look away.
Cranking up Christmas. Now Blair's coming home, so there's no reason to go. And the daughter they miss is expecting the bliss of a cranked-up traditional family Christmas.
Mom, Dad, I changed my mind and I'm coming home for Christmas.
What?
I have to make some adjustments because my daughter is now coming home on Christmas Eve, not being away like we thought.
They kind of just have to put aside the idea of skipping Christmas and just throw this whole party.
She should have called sooner.
And she's bringing her boyfriend home to see Christmas with the Kranks.
And so now they have about 6 or 7 hours to put a party together.
How long is it going to take you to put up Frosty?
3 days.
Great. When you finish putting up Frosty, I want you to call all the neighbors and invite them to the party.
What party?
And that's when all hell breaks loose.
I'm in a panic because my daughter's coming home, so I borrow one of my other neighbor's trees.
He was asked to help Mr. Crank borrow their neighbor's Christmas tree. Is this against the law?
Of course not. You take the real delicate ones and put them on the sofa.
Why?
Nothing valuable.
What's it say on there?
Baby's first Christmas.
Perfect.
I have to say that Tim Allen and Jamie Lee Curtis are two of the most game actors when it comes to doing stunts. Tim goes through all sorts of abuse on this movie.
I don't think it's a real good idea to drink a Coca-Cola and have french fries.
Please don't do that.
Yeah. What they've asked me to do in this movie is climb on roofs, fall off roofs, Ben falling down. So I'm putting a big Frosty the Snowman on my roof. Did not go so well.
Maybe Joe wants to get up here and try one a little faster. Hey, Bruce.
Tim falls off a roof and gets hung upside down by his foot.
Drop! Go! Looser! You okay? Swell, Vic. Thanks, and you?
What else do we do to poor Tim? Well, we've dumped a gigantic amount of water on him. Many times.
You know why I don't want one of your stupid umbrellas? Because I couldn't get any wetter.
I got wet for 2 entire days, late at night.
That's about as wet as you can get.
I love physical comedy. I don't know if I like environmental comedy.
But I could be wrong.
Well, you're so wet anyway. What the hell, right?
He's pretty much humiliated throughout the movie, you know, but he seemed like the right guy for the job.
Hey, Don's seat's all wet. How'd that happen?
But there's some really big, funny moments because of that.
What are you gonna do with those clippers, guys? Got them?
Huh?
Oh! Ow! Ow!
Action, Jamie.
We're having a party. I'm getting the ham.
That ham is mine!
That's a winner. Okay, we go.
Jamie Lee gets launched in a shopping cart through the aisle of a grocery store.
And Jamie Lee Curtis.
It's amazing that you have actors in this, this day and age who really enjoy doing that.
Community outreach. It will take all they got because there's only one shot. For to revive their tradition is now the neighbor's mission.
Is that us? When the neighborhood finds out that it's for Blair, who's babysat all the kids in the neighborhood, they decide to band together and try to help him out. Even though they really don't want to because Crank is such a crank.
They have to resort to asking Vic Frohmeyer and the rest of the neighborhood to help him.
The whole thing switches, and we're kind of at the mercy of our neighbors.
All right, people, listen up. We're about to have a Christmas homecoming for Blair. And the people in the community stick together. You gotta go home, change clothes, grab some food, and come back here in half an hour. And so the community comes through for him.
Hey, can I help you with that?
Everybody rushes to try to get the house decorated so that she can see it as it always has been.
Finally, there's nothing like a white Christmas.
The eagle has landed.
Roger.
I think Christmas with the Cranks is a terrific family movie. What people will come for, I believe, is the comedy. And I think what they'll be surprised at is the sentiment.
Had a lot of heart, a lot of humor in it.
And you've been in the sun.
No, we have not.
Suddenly, at the end of the film, it's very emotional. You take away a little something at the end of it.
This night is full of surprises.
It's a wonderful lens to look at something that we all probably should look at, which is the connection between friends and family.
No matter what the story, no matter what the conditions, when people get pushed to a certain point, they're either with you or they're against you. When they're with you, there's nothing more heartwarming or beautiful.
That's a wrap, everybody.